Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome back into a new lecture 54. My dear students, this is class first year biology and I am your teacher Adnan Alam. Dear students, in previous three lectures we just got finished chapter 9 which was diversity among animals. In that chapter we explained the general characteristics of class invertebrate and then we started vertebrates and invertebrates, different classes and their characteristics, their examples were explained in detail. Dear students, today I am here to deliver my lecture on a new chapter, chapter 10, and its name is Form and Functions in Plants. My dear students, it's important to tell you that in this chapter we will study physiology of the plants, that how different functions are performed by different parts of the plant and what are these functions. Dear students, in this chapter due to the exclusion of the course, some topics are excluded. But I want to give you a little idea about the excluded topics also. My dear students, this chapter is about, first of all, is nutrition in plants. You people know very well about the nutrition, that nutrition is a mechanism by which plants usually take the nutrients. And nutrients are those components, these chemical substances which usually provide energy, or if they are not providing energy, they are important for many metabolic reactions in the body and to form different structures in the body. These nutrients are important. Then macronutrients and micronutrients, nutrients required in large amount and nutrients required in low amount or in less amount. These are present. Then we have a very important topic, that is water potential, as the potential energy are stored in the water molecule which keep them flowing is called as the water potential. It is denoted by psi W. Now let's start our topic, that is the uptake of water by the plants. So first of all I want to tell you that dear students, usually uptake of water take place in plants through the roots, and roots usually absorb the water and then usually uptake occurs and its Dear students, you know very well about the xylem vessels and xylem tracheids. My dear students, the xylem tracheids are present in the lower plants, and in the upper plants we have xylem vessels. The xylem vessels are responsible for the conduction of the water and different minerals from the soil to the upper parts of the plant. Today we are here in a very important lecture in which I will explain that what type of pathways the water follow from the root hairs to xylem. It is very clear that the uptake of water usually takes place in xylem from the lower parts to the upper parts. In the coming part of the lecture we will also explain that mechanism. But here we need to know that how the water molecules reach from the external environment to the xylem. Dear students, usually the cell wall of the roots is a permeable structure, and it allows every kind of molecules to pass. And the cell membrane is semi-permeable and selectively permeable. It only allows small molecules, but it stops this large molecule. So usually the pathway is here that the water moves from the environment, from the soil to the epidermis, from the epidermis to the cortex, from the cortex to the pericycle, and from cortex to the endodermis, from endodermis then to pericycle, and from pericycle to the xylem vessels. And finally, when the water reaches to xylem vessels, here we have three main pathways by which usually the water moves from the high concentration to the low concentration. High concentration is the water molecules present in the soil, and the low concentration is the xylem vessels. So my dear students, what is going on actually? the three pathways usually we follow when water molecules move from the soil to the xylem vessels. So first pathway, it's very important in examination point of view, but it's conceptually you need to know the concept. So first pathway is epoplast pathway, generally we call it as a non-living pathway, and in this pathway usually the water move in the adjacent cell wall system. It's a non-living pathway, but it is stopped by Casparian strips. Now what is Casparian strip? It's a band of lignin and sobrine which usually cover the cells of the endodermis by four sides. Now, my dear students, the water continuously moving in the intercellular spaces, but when they reach to the endodermis, where the cells are thick and a strip, additional strip is present, and that strip is actually called as Casparian strip. So, this band of lignin and sobrine usually block the water molecules to move forward. So, then what the water and ions will do? They will come to the cell surface and through cytoplasm they will reach to the xylem. Now come to the Synplast pathway, it is the living pathway, and in this pathway the movement of cell cell and the liquid will move in the connections of the adjacent cells, which are usually called as plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata are the connections between the cells which join the cells, and these are the links by which usually the water molecules move. So the plasmodesmata is usually added by the cytoplasmic streaming. Cytoplasmic streaming, the cytoplasm is also constantly moving, which is called a cytosis. This is adding the Synplast pathway at the movement of the water through cytoplasmic connections. Third pathway we have is vacuolar pathway, and the vacuolar pathway usually the water moves from vacuole to vacuole through membrane cells, and the membrane of the vacuole is usually called as a tonoplast, and the liquid, this membrane is called as tonoplast, and the liquid that is present inside the vacuole is called cell. Now let's come to the diagram, and this diagram is very important. It's the root hairs. The root hairs are the structures, minute structures that are present on the root epidermis, and it usually increases the surface area of the root, and they are thought to be the fundamental structures for the absorption of the water and minerals from the soil. So if you look at the diagram, with the epoplast pathway, its epidermis and cortex, look, this red line is coming up to the Caspian strip. You can say that they are blocked here because the Caspian strip is a band of lignin and sobrine side. These are the thick walled cells. You can, in easy language, we can say these are the thick walled endodermal cells. So the water is not allowed to move further on in the intercellular spaces because there are no spaces in the endodermis, so they are blocked. So now what the water and ions will do, they will come to the surface area of the cell, and through cytoplasm they will reach to the xylem vessel. And comes to the next pathway, the living pathway. That's the blue line. You can say the water is moving in the intercytoplasmic connections called plasmodesmata, and they are coming. If you compare both of the pathways, the epoplast pathway is just up to the Caspian strip, but the Synplast pathway, the blue line, the Synplast pathway, is a continuous, and you can say the epoplast pathway and the Synplast pathway are the same after the Caspian strips, and then the water just got reached. Then if you come to the third way, the vacuolar pathway, these are the vacuolar. So you can say that when cytoplasm to cytoplasm, these are called cytoplasmic connections, plasmodesmata. If the water is moving in these cytoplasmic connections, it's Synplast pathway. If water is moving in the intercellular spaces, then this is epoplast pathway. And if it is vacuole to vacuole, then this is called vacuolar pathway. So in that way, usually the water molecules move from the root hairs are from the soil to the xylem. So up to here we got the good understanding that yes, the water molecules are moving from the soil to the xylem. In the next part of the lecture, we will study essence of seed, in which we will study that how usually uptake of water occur from the lower parts, from the roots to the leaves. What is that mechanism? We will explain. Hope that you people got a good understanding of this. Examination point of view, much important. Short question may come, a part of the long question can come from this part of the chapter. Hope that you people got a good understanding. Now we are going towards the next topic, and that next topic is the essence of self. So let's start essence of self. The next topic is the essence of seed. According to the definition of the essence of seed, the upward movement of the water plus minerals from the root cells, from the roots to the upper parts like leaf. This movement, upward movement, is called as essence of seed. My dear students, this is a difficult phenomenon because if we think about it, this is the upper part of the plant, this is the lower part, and the water will move against the gravitational force. It is going against the gravitational force, so we need a pumping mechanism to pump the water. The first idea about the essence of self was root pressure. Root pressure can be defined as the sum of osmotic pressure of root cells. It's called root pressure. But root pressure have a limitation that only this collective osmotic pressure can just uptake the water up to 8 feet. So for small plants, this is suitable. But what about the different trees having 400 plus feet height? So it's not suitable. For then a suitable structure, a suitable explanation is cohesion, tension theory or the text force, and this is also called Dixon-Joule theory of transpiration pull. So now let's expand TECT. TECT theory. Transpiration pull. Adhesion. Cohesion. Tension theory. This is called a step theory. First, let's discuss the components. So first is transpiration pull. My dear students, you know very well that the evaporation of the water from the aerial parts of the plant is usually called as transpiration. First of all, we need to know that the xylem of the leaf is connected with the xylem of the stem, and the xylem of the stem is connected with the xylem of the roots. Dear students, when the uptake of water occurs, this is the xylem. This is xylem. When uptake of water occurs when transpiration occurs, there is a deficiency of water in the leaves. So the leaves will draw water from the stem. And when there is a deficiency of water molecule occur, when the deficiency of water molecules occur in the stem, there will be a suctional force created, which is called as transpiration pull. That force is called transpiration pull, and thus channel of the water is called transpiration stream. So what this transpiration pull will do, it will draw more water from the root xylem, and the root xylem will draw water from the soil. So there is a continuum will form in which water will go from the soil to roots xylem, xylem root to stem xylem to leaf xylem, and leaf xylem to the environment. So this is the most acceptable theory. Now the next is adhesion. Next component is adhesion. What is adhesion? Adhesion is the force of attraction between the water molecule and the container. Water molecule and the container. So here the container is xylem. my dear students know very well in chapter 2 you people study that water are polar molecules and they have a force of attraction for each other. And that force of attraction between water molecules is called cohesion. And the third one is tension. The fourth one, is tension. The hydrogen bonding between the water molecules is called tension. Hydrogen bonding is actually an attractive force between the positively charged hydrogen and any negative ion. So in that way, the water molecules are constantly moving through transpiration. If there is a transpiration, then a continuum is found, and that continuum leads the water towards the environment. So through this mechanism, water molecules can be uptake to any height rather than height. In the root pressure there was limitation, but here in the according to tech theory there is no limitation of the height. If the trees are 400 feet, if it's 400 plus, no matter, this mechanism has the ability to uptake the water to the highest places, and that way the water molecule the water molecules are moving constantly. So my dear students, it was all about today. Inshallah, in our coming lecture, we will explain the next part of this chapter. Thank you so much for staying with me. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.